What's going on, guys? All Up Blitzel here, and today we have Flying Pikachu Control. This deck was piloted by Sandra Wojcik to a top 8 placement in the Liverpool Regional Championships. I think this deck is very strong right now in the right hands. It has a lot of options, and you pretty much have answers for most matchups. So let's get into the deck. I'm going to go row by row and explain the reason for every single card in the deck. First up, we have Yveltal. This was used in the original list of this Yveltal control deck. It's just there to run Lugia out of energies. Also has utility against Mew. A Snorlax Scoreman dies, helps us get into the game, fills up our hand at the end of turns. Newcomer, a Snorlax from Lost Origin. This is useful because its Unfazed Fat ability means it can't get Lost Mined onto, and also can serve as a nice attacker into other Snorlaxes, especially in the Lugia matchup. We have Eldegoss, which is allows us to be infinite. Lets us get a supporter out of our discard pile, and its attack puts it back into the deck so we can keep looping on forever and ever. Regieleki allows us to get a trainer card from our discard pile, so we can have basically infinite resources by him too. Flying Pikachu is another new addition. You might remember that Sandra's LAIC list played Ice-Q. Flying Pikachu is basically just an updated take on that. Ice-Q is a little more fragile, so like Dragonite lists can punish it. And so Flying Pikachu is just bigger, more damage. Miltank has been a mainstay in control since it's come out. That miraculous body ability is very strong. Sandra played a Starly. I am playing Calyrex for now. They both have the same attack. Starly lets you search your deck for 2 cards, as does Calyrex. Calyrex is a bit more bulky, so you don't have to worry about double-dip Fangs threatening it. But Starly can't attack for free with Bird Keeper, so Starly might be just a tad better. I'm still testing out the Calyrex. Manaphy for bench protection. Radiant Greninja to help us get through the deck quickly. Colress to help us get through the deck and get rid of unwanted cards, because a lot of our cards are matchup specific. Boss to get to trap and pressure stuff. Sidney to pressure opponents' resources in their hand, get rid of stadiums, energies, stuff that might help them stick around for longer. Bird Keeper is a switch card that we can infinitely retrieve with Eldegoss. Thorton allows us to be cheeky and pop out the Pikachu in 1 turn. Sander did outline on Twitter after the tournament that if you have Regieleki Snorlax in play, you can attach to the Snorlax and then Thorton to the Pikachu on the next turn, and they can't pressure your Snorlax at all. Like, they can't Lost Mine it, they can't do anything to it, so we can pop Pikachu out of nowhere. Bruno for draw, and also can make it so you can put cards back into your deck if needed. Peonia to help us with prizing. Quick Ball, consistency. Scoop Up Net to pick up our guys. Yell Horn for the confusion disruption. Echoing Horn to put down unwanted Pokemon on our opponent's bench, to gust down later. Hisuian to make sure we don't prize things. Lost Vacuum for the tool remover. Cape of Toughness makes our Yveltals not be able to one-shot by Lumineon. Also makes so our Eldegoss can't be one-shot by Goodra or Duraludon. Parasol we stick on the Pikachu so we can't get Lost Mined. Galar Mine for the retreat block, and then the energy is pretty self-explanatory. Gonna be a longer video, so sit back and relax. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. Thank you guys for watching and enjoy the battles. Alright, on to the first game. We'll be able to go first. I apologize for the quality of this video. For whatever reason, my screen recorder recorded it really jank, so you still can see the battles. Can't see our opponent's hand, and the top part of the screen is cut off slightly. I apologize. It's the only battle that recorded that way, unfortunately, but we move. So we Quick Ball for the Radiant Greninja. We are against Goodra, so our game plan, our end game is going to be Eldegoss looping. We put Cape of Toughness on, so it can't get one shot, and we just infinitely go between 2 Eldegoss. And unless our opponent plays Vacuum, which I don't think they probably are, we can just infinitely loop to the win. So our opponent will Colress going first. Yeah, I apologize once again. I don't know why this one recorded weird. I tried to fix it, but I couldn't. So the game will make it for it. This is a pretty good game for us. So they capture for a Comfey after the Colress. So this is the Lost Zone build. Quick Ball. Miltank can also be a threat to them if they do like Lost Zone their Cramorant. Rod goes down early. That's a really important card for them. So like, kind of surprising to see it go early. Switch. Flower selecting. So using lots of resources early, which is always great to see. I don't understand why, because I'm putting a ton of pressure on them, so they don't need to be in a hurry. That's another inherent advantage Control has. Not so much later on in a tournament, but early on in a tournament or just on ladder, your opponent just might not know how to play the matchup. Like a lot of times, you'll face opponents who play too aggressively with their resources, and then you can just punish them. Because against Control, the key is just not going aggressive early. That you always have time, so just you can take your time and build up your board. Like he doesn't need to flower selecting 3 times in a turn. He doesn't need to get turn 2 Mirage Gates. Like my first turn was solid. I have a solid hand. Like I'm not like breaking out here. Like, if I was breaking out, then I can see the merit in popping off and trying to get early knockout pressure. But my start was fine. He didn't have a reason to go all crazy. So I Colress. Now I'm going for the Calyrex play this turn. We can bench the Regieleki, attach the double turbo. I'll net the active. We do have to put down the Galar Mine. But my hand's a little weak, but a little too big to Gourmandize. So we'll go for the King's Instructions, find a Colress. Could get another Galar Mine as well. I think I'll get the Yell Horn. So next turn, if I'm assuming Agudra is going to Rolling Iron and kill our Calyrex, so we can Yell Horn it and force a switch card or make him start flipping coins, which is always good for us. I do also want to try Sanders' Mewtwo V Union deck list that he posted. If you guys want to see that, let me know. Or if there's any other decks that I've not featured yet, let me know. I am definitely taking ideas here. I still have several left, but suggestions are always welcome. So, another flower selecting, getting out of a boss. This appears to be similar to Stefan's second place list from Liverpool, which Sander actually lost to in Top Cut. It's just really hard for Control to win in a Top Cut format, because if you're not familiar with how the rules work, there's an extra 30 minutes, I believe. Yeah, it's an extra 30 minutes. And if time is called in the round and the match is even, like 1-1 or 0-0, then whoever has the least prize cards wins. And a deck like Gudra is always going to take more prize cards than a deck like Control. So in the set, Sander won a long game 1. I believe he just left like 6 minutes left or something like that. But he won a long game 1, but Stefan was barely able to win a game 2 with 6 minutes left. So since Sander lost that second game, he couldn't draw it all the way out to time. He couldn't win the set because there's no way he takes more prize cards than a Gudra, like an aggro deck like Gudra. So it's happened to Sander several times. It's always frustrating to see because he's a player I always root for. I just like his creative deck building. So it's frustrating to see, but eventually he will break through. He's had quite a few accomplishments this season with creative decks. So probably the Calyrex. Definitely could see the merit trailing mine over the Colress, but I'll get Sidney and both the energies. Parasol's not worthwhile here. So I'm going to conceal cards out the capture. I definitely should have, definitely could have attached to the active and tried to use King's Instruction again, but this is okay too. We force our opponent to start flipping coins or spend switch cards. We are just trying to build toward that Eldegoss endgame, so we just need to get through our deck as fast as possible and save a double turbo energy to keep looping it over and over again. So our opponent is going to have to start flipping coins. That's always great. There's a Cramorant, so maybe they'll switch into that, which would be okay with us because it doesn't one-shot a majority of our Pokemon, so we don't mind the Cramorant just coming in. If you'd like me to, I can do a more detailed matchup breakdown with this deck if you guys want me to, or if there's any other kind of content, not just deck related, but you want me to post anything Pokemon TCG related. If you guys want to see it, I'm down to post it. So any ideas that you may have, the Sidney doesn't hit. Any ideas that you have, just let me know. I'm more than happy to make content that you guys want to see. And if there's something that I think I can improve on, or something that you'd like to see in my videos, please let me know. I'm relatively new to this YouTube thing, so any little thing helps out a lot. So we will boss his orders, the Goodra, after he did flip tails, fortunately for us. We want to keep the double turbo over the twin because we need to keep the DTE for the Eldegoss, which is the Regieleki, and we'll sonar. I'm going to get back the Galar Mine. Colress is probably a little better. Our end game is not, well, our end game can be running our opponent S switches, but it's more likely going to be Eldegoss looping. So we just need to not be caught with a fairly big deck by the time our opponent reaches a low prize card count. So we can do that. I should have done the mine before the speed, but that's okay. We'll sonar for the Scoop Up Net. No, just Colress actually. We'll sonar for the net next turn because just need to keep getting into the deck, but we will need to pick up all our other Pokemon after that, so we don't have anything that can break our loop. So our opponent Quick Balls. They spent a ton of switching cards, so they can't have a whole lot of gas left. I can't see their hand because of the silly glitch, so but their hand is probably fairly large. They're back onto our turn. Top of the other Eldegoss. We will Colress. We'll grab double net and DTE. And I'm just going to sonar for the other net. Now we are very close to being able to achieve our loop. We have both Eldegoss, both Capes, okay, we'll need the mine again. This Temple of Sinnoh. Our opponent should not be using Temple like this because it doesn't necessarily bother us that Regieleki just uses a colorless to attack, so it's not disrupting us at all. And you should use it later when I'm looping with Eldegoss, just in case I were to leave myself without a Galar Mine. I could get punished, but that's not the case. So just another pass. Yeah, I think we're in the clear here. We just dropped the Galar Mine. I don't necessarily even need to do that. I just wanted to speed for a couple extra cards. I'll Scoop Up Net, the Snorlax, and I'll sonar for another net. So just need one more turn after this one to pull off, start looping. So that's great. Our opponent is going nowhere. They cannot find any sort of switching cards. So yeah, this is like my opponent played so greedy early on that they use all those resources to get going quickly, and then I just slow them down in the mid game here, and they spent all their resources early, so they have no way of disrupting my flow here. So we'll get another net. We have all three nets, so we can pick up all our guys and get to looping after our opponent's turn, unless they play a Marnie or something, which I do not expect. Yep, just draw pass. So we will 0 card left in deck. We have Eldegoss. We have the Capes. So I'll get back Colress. I will Scoop Up Net the active into Eldegoss. Net the 2 bench guys. Boom, boom. And then we'll bench the other Eldegoss. Attach Cape. Attach DTE. Grab the other Colress. Cape up that other Eldegoss. And then just float up. And we do want to put it back into the deck. So now my opponent, unless they play Lost Vacuum, which I definitely do not expect, we win. They can hit me for 200 a turn. That's not enough to KO Eldegoss, and we just go and go and go infinitely until they deck out. Like eventually, like they can awkward turn to delay things a little bit, but eventually they will run out of ways to move into that Lumineon constantly. So they finally find an escape rope, but they only have 6 cards left in deck. That's 6 or 8. I can't tell. Not very many, nonetheless. So we can just play our Colress and draw our other 2 cards in deck. Attached to the active, bench Eldegoss, regrab Colress. The loop could get sort of muddled if our opponent plays Hand Disruption, but in this particular matchup, we don't have to worry about that. You do this similar loop against RC's Duraludon because they only can hit for 220 a turn, so you're still living the pulverization and you're just looping over and over again. So yeah, you can combine that with a Yell Horn early on, and they might start missing attacks, which could be kind of cool. But yeah, you eventually deck that. We're eventually going to deck them out. So Ordinary Rod, we'll put a couple more things into their deck, up to 9 cards. But they play a Mirage Gate, so loading up for a potential awkward turn, I guess. I don't exactly know what my opponent's trying to do because they can awkward turn, but it's just delaying the inevitable. Like, you're going to eventually run out of ways to switch out of your Pokemon every turn. Well, I'm always going to have, I can keep grabbing this Colress and Eldegoss, and I'm never going to run out of cards in my deck, so yeah, so I have this one locked up unless something incredibly weird happens, because also my opponent spent nets early. Like, one thing they can do to slow me down potentially is if they have Zigzagoon and double net, then I can't pull off this combo. I have to sort of be patient and maybe try to whittle down their resources before I can do this. So yeah, I don't know what happened here. I froze. I didn't. Come on, attach. Oh, there's a concession. All right. So cool. On to the next game here. We're back to normal. We recorded normal this time. So our hand is okay. It's nothing spectacular, but Goldeen, so it's another disruption / control deck that we're up against. So here, I assume their win condition is going to be running me out of energies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quick ball up, quick ball, grab my big Snorlax here, my Lost Origin one, because with its ability, we are unaffected by Seeking's Ripping Horn. So we will, if their only win condition is Seeking, they can never touch my Snorlax. So we don't need, I only will need Sidney or Calyrex here, and we'll just pass it on over to our opponent. It might take a little bit because Snorlax might not like to cooperate with those coins, but we should just be able to eventually take 6 prizes, unless they have some way to pressure the Snorlax. So to make it do, a quick ball out a Azumarill, looks like. So yeah, dive and rescue. I remember people, when that came out, people thought that that was going to be a big control deck, and it never really did much. So we'll attach to the Lax, put the cape on, we'll Bruno for 4. We hit the double turbo. I was heavy ball. Only meaningful card prize is that net. I'm not going to conceal cards because I'm not feeling any pressure at all. So I'm just going to attach and sonar next turn and grab the Colress. So I have more cards in the long run. So there goes the Seeking. So I don't know if my opponent has any tricks that can get rid of my Snorlax. There's no way they can shut off my ability. So I don't know what they could potentially have that would throw a wrench in things. There's a net between Goldeens, not net, Bird Keeper. So Incense. Maybe they'll Seeking. I don't know. They have a Zoroark, so it could be a whole Dusknoir. So they're playing the Spectral Breach. Oh, Dusclops. So they're playing Spectral Breach Dusknoir. So that's sort of interesting. Well, there's Sonar for the Chorus. So Spectral Breach doesn't really matter too much to us. We just still pile 3 energies on our Snorlax. Seeking's an interesting deck. I've certainly one that I liked playing before Lost Origin came out, but it doesn't really cut it. Like, you have to Ice Cube Wash is like your win condition into Lost Zone, which it's pretty scuff win condition. For a deck like Seeking, like, you don't really want to be playing those other cards. So it can be a fun deck, but it's not super competitive. So they just Bruno for 4. So maybe we can get to attacking next turn if this Colress can find a Scoop Up Net. Eldegoss will Chorus. Nope, I'll just grab some energies. I suppose we can attach Retreat. So I think what we'll do, we'll conceal cards. This doesn't find a net, which it did not. Peonia isn't out to net though on the next turn. So I will grab this other Regieleki. And we'll just begin thumping. So yeah. Took the Scoop Up Net, that is excellent. So yeah, we are looking pretty good. Just need Snorlax to not go to sleep for the rest of the game, and we should be fine. We also have Bird Keeper that can allow us to keep going or reset our Snorlax. That's what I mean. So they play a Clara. That's not going to move the needle too much, I don't think. So there's this, the Sea King, Glimatangle. I don't think they know Unfazed Fat works the way it does. So they're gonna reflip. And yeah, no effect. So I think my opponent did not expect that. So he double tails. Way to go, Snorlax. We'll just Peony here. We'll put Yveltal, Manaphy. We don't need any of them. And I'll just pass. Don't need to be in a hurry and spend resources. Because I don't feel under any sort of pressure from my opponent to move quickly at all, so just pass. The only thing that would be slightly annoying is that Dusknoir could make us need one more energy. So, but that's just a minor disruption. So, and we have infinite nets. Yeah, so our opponent's going to Gust the Regieleki. And which was very nice of him, because now we are awake. And let's thump. We'll take one of these players on the right. It's another Yveltal. Don't need our Snorlax staying asleep. Our opponent isn't conceding, so I wonder if they have any sort of win condition. I mean, their deck is probably infinite. They probably have some sort of infinite loop, but I don't think they have anything that can take our Snorlax down. At least I don't expect anything except from just loading up 2 energies on a Sea King or something, or 2 energies on a Zoro. Start going for energy assist. So he goes to Glimwood, choose Arua, and pass. Take a knockout with Snorlax. And I don't think our opponent has anything that they can do to beat us. So they'll just random transformation into an Azumarill. And then they research into the Azumarill. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, so they have the Azumarill, so maybe they have something that they can do. I mean, they can keep grabbing Boss, but we have infinite net, so it shouldn't matter. Yeah, I don't know what our opponent is sticking around for, because Spectral Breach doesn't really disrupt me at all. It's attached to other energy. And yeah, they get a Boss, but doesn't that. I'm gonna just find the Bird Keeper. Alright, so I'm just gonna Gust the Dusknoir. Slow him down. I just need to find Bird Keeper or something to start moving a little faster, or just need Snorlax to decide to wake up. But he's tired boy, so could have Echoing Horn down a Snorlax, but I don't think it really matters. Just needs Snorlax to decide to wake up. Please, my guy. You've had a long rest. It's time to battle. So they evolve into the Zoroark, Ben's Arua. I don't know if they have anything to move this Dusknoir. So they pass. Snorlax does not want to wake up. So we will. I think I'm just going to keep passing, and eventually Snorlax will wake up. Yep, there he does. So they'll probably boss up Regieleki, which will just net him back up. And yeah, that should be that. They Gust Regieleki again. We're just going to net, attach, and thump. I don't think we have any other play we need to make. I mean, I could Sonar, but I'm not terribly worried about running out of options here. Stumping Snore. We always can start Eldegoss looping if things go, if they somehow run us out of nets. But Snorlax decides to wake up. He had enough rest for today. Quick Ball Gorbis, so they have quite the deck here. and a concession. Alright, on to our final game. Eldegoss opening. Pretty okay hand. We can float up back into another Pokemon and remove Eldegoss. Zigzagoon could be just about anything. Aerodactyl. So, Vikavolt probably. Yep. So this matchup should be pretty interesting. The speed. Item Lock can slow our game down, but they don't necessarily have a very great Miltank answer. So maybe after they've committed a lot of resources, we try to force them to commit resources, we just try to close the game with a Miltank. Zapdos is probably their best option, so we will Colress. I'll take Yveltal, Double Turbo, and Capture, I think. Yeah, so then we will drop that, Capture the active, and get Gourmandize, or Retreat, drop the Galar Mine, and then Snorlax for 1. I could have used the net for 1 card, but I want to hold it. I mean, I could get item locked and I might get slightly punished, but I don't mind. So there's a Mew for the heavy ball. Benching the Aerodactyl I don't think is very smart because yes, it shuts off my Eldegoss, but Eldegoss is not how I'm going to be trying to win this game. And it's just something that is difficult to move. Especially if they evolve into the V-Star, which they definitely should not do unless they're going to attack with it. Energy Search. But they need to switch card to start item locking us. Greninja. Definitely digging. So definitely should not make that play. Not a very smart play. Like just easier for me to trap it now. So I'll net back the Lax into a Yveltal. Quick Ball outspeed for the Miltank. In case we get item locked, we always have that guy in play. We attach, we gust the Aerodactyl. We bump both those speeds, force him to have more resources just to item lock. Force him to commit more energies to this Vika, because the more resources we force him to commit to this Vika, the less they have for the Zapdos. So they do attach. Man, if they don't find a switching card, we can really punish this Vika ball hard. Cross switchers, so they do find a switching card. There's the Eldegoss. So we're just gonna float up into Lax, I think. Yeah, we'll just float up into our Snorlax. I suppose the Super Zap Cannon could make our day quite sad, but I don't think they'll play that aggro. I think they'll probably just chill here. Melanie on the Aerodactyl, so potentially committing to a Aerodactyl. Interesting. Aerodactyl does give them away to one-shot. Well, I mean, it gives them away to one-shot Eldegoss, but Vikavolt can too, so let's Gourmandize and fill up the hand. They can't take us out unless they're going to play a Scoop Up Net and redrop that Zigzagoon. Still no energy is committed to that Zapdos, so Miltank is feeling pretty safe. I do have the Bird Keeper in hand, so I can use Cry of Destruction and force another energy to go on this Vikavolt, which I do really like. I'll put Capture on Miltank, so then it is close to attacking. I don't necessarily need to Cry Destruction again this game. We'll get down the Regieleki. Don't want to do Pikachu. Pikachu is very exploitable. So, yep, we'll just take that speed out of place. I only have 1 speed left and probably 2 lightnings and maybe 1 or 2 training quartz for lightning energies to attack with Zapdos. So they will take our Snorlax, unfortunately. They have the attachments. There's a Court. So we can just immediately bump that. So that's great. Probably, okay, there's the Seal Stone, Lightning. Yeah, Zapdos. We can't unfortunately one-shot Zapdos with Route. That'd be pretty incredible if we could. We can start putting pressure on this Hot Judge, darn. We can start putting pressure on this Vikavolt and maybe force our opponent to break item lock by hitting for 110 with Miltank. The Zapdos is nowhere near ready to go, so we'll promote the Miltank. I think I'm gonna Sidney here. They could have another Stadium. I mean, Bruno could give me energy, but I want a Sidney. There's a speed, so we are rewarded for that. All their speeds are gone, so they probably have 1 or 2 lightnings and maybe 1 more training court for energies. So that Zapdos is going to be very difficult to power up. So yeah, feeling pretty good. There's a Gust on the Yveltal, Water with the Training Court, Conceal card, so they're probably digging for that attachment on that Zapdos. They'll take the knockout thanks to weakness. I'm just going to promote Miltank and Bruno. So, yeah, don't want to bench Flying Pikachu at all. Let's put the Twin. Galar Mine's an excellent find. We'll just hit into the into the Vikavolt, excuse me. And now he might want to undo the item lock to deny prizes, but it's going to be very difficult for him to attack with Zapdos. So Melanie, maybe to load the Aerodactyl. Nope, to the Vikavolt. So they can't retreat though because of the Galar Mine. So I wonder if that's what they're hoping to do, but don't realize the mine is in play. There's an Alchemy. So do they have anything that they can do? Nope, they concede. Alright, thank you guys for watching. This has been Control. It's a very powerful deck, not the easiest one to play, but there's definitely been tougher Control decks to play. If you'd like me to do a more in-depth video where I break down every single meta-relevant matchup, please let me know. Thank you guys for making this far in the video. It's, I think, my longest post yet, so you're a true warrior if you made it through this one. But I'm very happy with this list. It's a pretty cool deck to play. I've always liked playing Control decks. It's sort of my play style, more defensive and Control. But once again, thank you guys for watching. Up to 40 subscribers, like that's so awesome to me. You guys are just the absolute best. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and this has been All Up Blitzel, and I'll see you next time.